Welcome back to Brownlow Books. I said I was not going to do this. I was not going to do a wrap-up of Canada Reads, but it's the end of day one right now, and my friend is at work and has not watched it yet, and I have no one else to talk to about this, and I just need to let some things out while I wait for her to catch up, so, here we are. I will compile in one video at the end, okay? That's what we're going to do here. So... some highlights. That's all I'm doing. Some highlights, some thoughts, okay? First, big ol' fucking spoilers. It's the end, you already know. Okay. Meet Me at the Lake was kicked off first, which I put in my bottom spot. So, bit of a bitch right now. It's fine. Okay, some highlights of things I have thoughts about. Heather O'Neill saying, I could talk about books for 8 hours a day for the entire month, and that wouldn't be enough for me. I want this. Like I love sitting here. It's just like, girl, yes, same. I am like, give me shows about books. I have watched It's Lit on PBS. I watched the Literature on Crash Course. Like, just give me shows about books. Do it. I watch Shelved. Get books. Okay. Naeed saying that he used Libby. Oh my god. I was like, he just said he my husband was still on the couch asleep, half asleep for half of it. And he was just like, huh? And I'm like, he shouted out Libby. He said Libby. He got books on Libby. And I was just like, oh my god. Okay. Also, Naeed. This is a little bit of a deeper thought, not just like a, huh. Okay, my nails are kind of dirty from cleaning mushrooms. Okay, what was I saying? When Naeed was talking about Shut Up, You're Pretty, and he was like, I read it and I didn't really and then he's like, and then you said what was special about it, and so I went back to it and I was like, oh, okay, that. You can see here, I put it in my second from the bottom, fourth spot. It does not have the connection that people think it does. If you have to be told what is special about this book to see what is special about the book, that is not something that everyone is going to be instantly connecting and loving. It's not a thing. So me putting in my second from the bottom spot, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I hope it's that book tomorrow. Just saying. Okay. Ali Hassan's sweater. I was like, he popped up on my screen and I was like, oh, that's a cool sweater. It's one sleeve is white and the rest of it's blue. And I was like, that's weird. And then it's got the pattern. And then I was like, that pattern is Arabic. I don't speak Arabic. I don't read Arabic. I don't know what it says. I want to know what it says. I'll probably do a deep dive on the internet after this because, I can't do it immediately. I have to wait for something to show up. Someone talking about this sweater. I Googled a few phrases into Arabic to see if that's what it said, and it was not what it said, but directly. So I'm hoping it's on the same vein of something about, watermelons. Okay. Next thing that I was love. When Dallas is given his first time to, talk about his book, the very first time, time is a colonial construct. And I was just like, he just said that live. They not gonna like that. And I was just sitting on the couch just, oh my god, he said that. Oh my god, he said that. I was just and then he starts talking about everything and I'm just slowly oh my god. This guy who sounded like he did not want to defend the book that he picked is suddenly incredibly articulate and explaining things lovely, and I'm just I have some professional athletes in the family, okay? They do not talk like that. Okay, so I was just this is wonderful. I have just a whole list here of just stuff that is Dallas, okay? when he hasn't run out of time, he has extra time, he's like, can we talk about the coat? I was just like, I think I'm in love. When he says he did them on audiobook, because he was talking about Denison Avenue, and he's like, I picked up the actual copy of that one to read it because I felt like I was missing something with how it's written, how it's laid out, and like the illustrations and all that kind of stuff. And so like him saying that he did it on audiobooks because it's easier for him because he is dyslexic. He read the books via audiobooks, okay? I don't really like listening to audiobooks. I get too distracted. I can't focus. Like it's not for me. I would never deny and say that listening to the audiobook is not reading a book. That is ableist fucking behavior, and I fucking hate it. And I am just absolutely in love with the fact that one of the judges is dyslexic and did all the books via audiobook because that's how he reads. And now that is on national fucking television, and you cannot fucking say, audiobooks aren't really reading. Fuck you. Fuck you so hard. I will punch you in the fucking face if you come into my fucking comments and go, audiobooks aren't really reading. They fucking are. Stop your ableist bullshit. Okay? I need a minute. Okay, last point I have. Still a Dallas point. Along with the dyslexia, when you just kind of see him reach back to like get Charlene's attention as she takes the votes away. And, like, doesn't see him do that, and he's just like, oh. And then they're reading the votes, and he's like, I voted for Meet Me at the Lake, but did I actually vote for Meet Me at the Lake? Because he's like, I think I got confused and might have checked the wrong box. Like, that was funny and adorable, because he's just like, oh god, did I fuck up on the first day? Like, but yeah, I was not expecting to like him at all, because he just seemed like a cocky jock, and I was like, dealt with enough of those in my life, I'm not fucking into it. And then to just have like, he's still being fucking cocky and he still seems like a goddamn jock, but like to actually be able to talk about the books very succinctly and like say what's special about them, and I was just like, I don't hate you anymore. I didn't hate him. I was concerned that he would not defend it appropriately, and now I'm like, where he's gone. But yeah, that's some of my initial thoughts from the first day. I mean, I always enjoy the discussion. Just, you're talking about books. The first day is usually not very, like, pick on one book, so it's nice. But, based on previous years that I've watched Canada Reads, the book that's not really talked about on the first day often ends up being the book that's kicked out on the second day. So, what up? Shut up, you're pretty. So yeah, wow. That was day one. Those are some of my thoughts. You're right, I have no thoughts about Meet Me at the Lake or the future. I did enjoy Heather and Mirian connecting the future and Meet Me at the Lake together in the terms of like the mother and the daughter. And so like on one side it's the mother with the dead daughter, and then on the other side it's the daughter with the dead mother, and like you see the both sides of it kind of thing, and like grief and whatever kind of thing goes through. I enjoyed that. But yeah, it's stuck in my fucking mind about Naeed being like, I didn't know what was special about Shut Up You're Pretty. And I'm like, there's nothing special about Shut Up You're Pretty. It's even in Tea Mutonji's little recorded message to Kudakwashe, she says something about, I wrote it for me, and I wrote it for you, and I wrote it for girls that look like us. And I was like, so you're alienating a large portion of people that you want to be reading your book. Good job. So that's it for day one. I will see you in the exact same fucking place here for day two tomorrow, which will actually be 3 or 4 days past when I actually post this. All right, day two Canada Reads. I'm in shock. I Tie. Okay. But I really thought it was going to be the future over Denison Avenue. But also, really, I wanted it to be Shut Up, You're Pretty. And, like, for a moment there, I was like, it's going to be Shut Up, You're Pretty. And then they're like, Denison Avenue. The future. The future. Denison Avenue. Bad Cree. And I'm like, what? What? I am in shock that Denison Avenue was kicked off. I don't know what to say about that because I'm in such fucking shock about it. Okay, so we're just gonna go on to, like, thoughts. Mirian's Morning Veil. It is so fucking extra, but I'm very into it. I don't know. I appreciate it. Is it something I would do? No. But I'm not a fashion influencer. But I used to be into fashion. Like, I loved fashion, and things change. I loved it. Okay. The unenviable position of her having to be the tiebreaker. Whew. I could the stress on her face, just the oh my god, like and you're live, like you don't. They're just like, and it's you, make a decision, and you're just like, I voted for an entirely different book. Now I have to, like, reconsider everything, and you want me to do it in, like, 5 seconds. Oh my god, I could not handle that pressure. Kudakwashe. Talk so fucking fast. I get it, you're timed, you're trying to fit everything in, but, like, I don't think I'm following a word of it. So fucking fast. She said she noticed things on the reread of her book that she didn't see the first time that made it different and, like, a different kind of connection. I'm kind of like, people shouldn't have to read a book twice to get stuff out of that book. Like, there's books I've read twice because I enjoyed them, and I did get more out of it the second time, but, like, if I did not enjoy Shut Up, You're Pretty, which I fucking did not, I'm not gonna read it a second time to see if I get something more and different out of it. Like, that's not it. The fact that her friend and co-star has been on Canada Reads before and championed Johnny Appleseed, I was like, that makes fucking sense, because it's the same fucking book. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Shut Up, You're Pretty is the black girl version of Johnny Appleseed. It is what it is. Yell at me if you want. I'm standing by it. When she said that she wished that the Weedigo had appeared sooner in Bad Cree, because it doesn't show up until, like, halfway through the book, even, like, the mention of it, I was just like, I feel the exact opposite. Like, if you have grown up with that tradition, you do know that story. Like, if it took that long for them to be like, wait, this thing that's not real might be real, like, that's revelatory. Saying it earlier in the book, like, it is kind of like base level scary monster from Indigenous stories, yes. But, like, us fucking white people reading that book might not have grown up with that. Like, I've heard it in passing. I didn't know all the little details of it. I couldn't pick up that that's what it was going to be, you know? And so, like, saying it needs to appear sooner, I think, no, that would take away some of the suspense of, like, what is happening? What? You know? So, yeah, very much not a fan of Kudakwashe today. I'm not a fan of her book, so, like, Need. He said that immigration is the story of everyone, except for the obvious. But, disagree. a vast majority of my friends, their immigration story is their grandparents. Some of them it's their parents, some of them it's them. You know, it is 3, maybe 4 generations where it's been like, okay, we are in Canada now. They have that connection to their immigration stories. But not all Canadians have that. I certainly don't. I mean, most of my people came here in the 1800s because the English were starving them. Hell, one came in 1779. How am I supposed to have a connection to that fucker? Like, I don't know the immigration stories told from family member to family member. I have what shows up in an ancestry tree. So, like, saying that it's the story of everyone, except for the obvious of Indigenous people, like, it's not entirely true. I understand my colonizer past, but I still don't have the connection to that immigration. You know, I've never been to Ireland, I've never been to England, I don't have anything. So, yeah, I did, on a personal level, I understand this is not everyone, on a personal level, I did not like that. So, Heather. Heather is so long-winded and doesn't go anywhere, and it feels like I'm listening to my husband tell a story. Sorry, babe. Yeah. There's a couple times I'm just like, she's name dropping. Where is she going with this story? Like, bitch, get it out. You're timed. You're not defending your book right now. You're telling a story. You need to... Yeah, not overly enthused by that. And that's part of the reason why I thought it was going to be the future and not Denison Avenue. Anyways, I did enjoy how she was saying as the dystopian book that she was championing was, you know, usually dystopia is, you know, descending into lawlessness. But hers was like, it was building communities, it was working together, it was, you know, together instead of outside kind of thing. And I was like, I think that's what I liked about it. Because it is, like, a lot of the dystopia kind of things I like, it's like, you know, Hunger Games one side against the other kind of thing. And it's like, this wasn't like that, where it's like fighting in a part, or rebellion or anything like that. It was literally just, no, we need to take care of everyone. And I appreciate that about it. And then she said the thing. She said a thing. Just like humans, novels don't work without flaws. I love it. Just like humans, novels don't work without flaws. I was just like, holy fuck. Because, like, that is a thing I see online all the time. People just like nitpicking every little thing in a book. And I'm like, sometimes, okay, it's a typo. But sometimes they're like, there's this plot hole. And then other times they're like, I don't like how this character said this. And it's just like, one, it's not your fucking story. Write a fucking book if you're going to complain that much. See how it goes. But it's just like, yes, things are flawed. That is human nature. And just like humans, novels don't work without flaws. And I was just like, oh my fucking god. I know I'm not even fully explaining what's in my fucking heart hearing that right now. I can't. I won't. I can't. I know it. But just like, ooh, yes. Okay. This is a random thought I did not write down. I loved Hallie Hassan's shirt today. Like weird Hawaiian print with like tigers and shit. I enjoyed that. When I first saw it, I was like, what? Oh, I love it. I love that Dallas continues to play with the time. I don't know why it's pleasing me so much. It's just, he just seems so fucking cocky, but I'm enjoying it. So, be that what it is. I love that he brought up movies. Ocean's 11, the original in the 50s, he said, didn't have an happy ending. They got caught. It was over kind of thing. But in the newer released one, they win. And that is a thing that I often have come up. Novels do not have to have happy endings. Stories do not have to have happy endings. Like, there have been times when I've been reading book club books and they're like, oh, I love the ending. I was like, I thought the ending was too easy. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, just everyone's happy at the end. But like, it was such hardship. Like, that's not how the world works. And I think that's part of why I go back to Whiskey When We're Dry all of the time as like my number one book of last year. We don't get a happy ending of Jessie returning to the ranch with her brother to live that life. We don't get that. It's something else entirely. That story is just like, you want to go here and you end up over here. But it's not bad. It's not bad that you end up over there. It's not the happy ending everyone wants, but it's the ending that you need. I think I'm just in love with Alcinius. But yeah, the way that like it has become very much in our society that everything has to have a happy ending. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And so yeah, bringing that up, I was just like, yes. Also, Mirian saying that she did audiobooks. So that's 2 of them that have said, we did the audiobooks. Please stop with your ableist nonsense and saying that's not reading. All right. So, yeah. I was just like, yep, this is a normal debate day. Normal. And then Ty, and threw me all off. I am in shock. I'm still in shock that Denison Avenue. All right. Tomorrow. Canada Reads Day 3. Get me my veil, I am in mourning. My winner was kicked off today, Bad Cree. Presumably because a pair of bitches couldn't let up on the fact that the Weedigo isn't there early enough. To which, of course, like, they were so hung up on that. They were so hung up on when the Weedigo shows up. And, like, Dallas is like, yeah, you don't see it, but he's like, the crows are there. And the crows are protecting her from the Weedigo. You have to build up to it. You can't just be like, Weedigo, you know? What? I was... My friend that I watched this with was actually watching live today, so I could actually, like, message back and forth at this point. And I was just like, they're really fucking hung up on this, aren't they? Like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so, like, I'm not seeing something different. Like, you're like, why? And we'll come back around to that. But yeah, like, the crows are there protecting Mackenzie from the Weedigo, so, like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Very cultural. Felt a little offensive. But yeah, that kind of leads into Naeed's opening. Because his book was kicked off yesterday, Denison Avenue. Kind of leads into his opening, where he's like, I just wanted to say something about, like, the way that people are saying that So-Chum wouldn't sound like that. They don't expect an elderly Chinese woman to sound like that. And I was just like, Naeed subtweeting shade to their fucking faces. Like, calling you racist without fucking saying you're racist. And I was like, I appreciate this. Like, yeah, there was something special about Denison Avenue. There is something special about Denison Avenue. And then being like, well, it's just not what I expect an old Chinese woman to sound like. It's just like, bitch, please. So yes. We'll get into that too. Also Naeed talking about shut up, you're pretty. You shouldn't have to have a guide through a book. You shouldn't have to read a book twice to pick up something special from it. Like, that was repeated today several times. So I am still, like, in shock that they kicked off Bad Cree and not shut up, you're pretty. Did they say a single nice thing about shut up, you're pretty? They're like, oh, lowly. And it's like, but you're saying that she's fucking dumb. She's stuck with you because she's dumb. Today, I am mad at today's debate. I Lots of thoughts, but we'll lighten up for a second when Dallas said that the future was all vibes, and I was like, what? All vibes. But also, he said that when they're talking about the setting in particular, the future sketches you a setting. It doesn't blatantly just like, here's your setting. It just kind of sketches out a rough draft for you. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because, like, I think of all the photos I've seen of, like, a rotting Detroit. And I'm like, that's what I kind of, like, imagine it as. I don't need to have the setting just, like, shoved in my face. I've seen it. You know? I've seen what it currently is. Or a few years ago, I guess. I don't know how Detroit's doing right now. So, like, I kind of get that. It's sketched rather than obvious, which I appreciated. I think Kudakwashe might be a bit of a bitch in real life. I mean, they all interrupt each other, but, like, her interruptions seem really aggressive. She's either withdrawn or aggressive, and it's just like, are you making up for the fact that they haven't been talking about you for a second? And so now you sound aggressive and you're, like, talking so fast and trying to get it. It's just, vibes are off. Vibes are off. I don't even, like, as I said to my friend, like, her friend and co-star is someone who defended Johnny Appleseed, which was a winner. And so I'm kind of like, I know she got advice from her. She said that. And I'm kind of, like, wondering, is this how she would normally be? Or is this, like, her taking her friend's advice of this is how you win? And it just gives me a bit of the ick. It's giving me ick. Vibes off. Also, what in the fucking French Maid was that outfit? Like, you watch it just as much for the fashion as you do for the books, and, like, what the fuck was that? I hated it. I hated it a lot. Just hearing her talk about, like, a book that really sexualizes and fetishizes black girls and then dresses like that makes me feel icky. It's icky. All around, just give me the ick. Just like, what's that blonde's name that did Greenwood last year? Tracy Connor something. I don't know. Whatever her fucking name was, like, she gave me such ick. Vibes off. Did not like. But, like, I loved Greenwood. And it made me upset because I started to dislike Greenwood because she was defending it. I said that before. Maybe not on camera. Yeah, I don't... Today gave me a lot of ick. And that was before they voted off my book. And now I'm just like... I did loved the love that the aunties got from Bad Cree, but, like, really did not expect Bad Cree to go today the way that... Like, they almost forgot to talk about the future. Like, Heather had to bring up her own book. Like, the future, you know? Like, it's here too. And I was like, this is just fucking weird. It was such a weird day. I kind of hated it. I'm gonna hate Canada Reads if Shut Up You're Pretty wins tomorrow. I can't believe I'm having to choose between Shut Up You're Pretty and The Future. My 4th and 3rd place books. Which brings me to what my friend said. She said it before, and I'm sure she'll say it again. The best books don't win Canada Reads. Sometimes, yeah, they do. But, like, usually, the best books that you should want to read and that you should want other people to read are not the books that win. And today really, like, punched me in the face with that. Because it's fucking Shut Up You're Pretty. Yeah, like, sometimes it's the climate, and, you know, the last 3 years it kind of seems like the low-hanging fruit was picked first. You know, Meet Me at the Lake. Last year was Mexican Gothic. The year before that was Life in the City of Dirty Water, Muddy Water. I don't know, that memoir. Like, those were all picked off first, presumably because They either are the popular genre or a memoir, and I feel like a lot of the time memoirs don't always. Sometimes they win and sometimes they don't, but like that one was bad. And so yeah, it feels like a concerted effort to vote off a book that is objectively better. Like they kept talking about like the storytelling narrative and how like you connect with it or you don't, and I'm like, people are connecting with Shut Up You're Pretty in the future, but not Bad Cree. Bad Cree is the only one that's like telling a traditional storyline. You're reading a fiction. It is telling you it is written like 90% of the fucking books that I have read in a narrative format. I fucking baffled by that one. Yeah, if Shut Up You're Pretty wins tomorrow, I'm gonna fucking burn down some CBC studios. No, I jest. I honestly can't believe I'm now rooting for the future to win. It has gotten to that point. At least it's not between Shut Up You're Pretty and Meet Me at the Lake, I guess. Silver lining? I don't fucking know. Today was bizarre. The way they focused on Shut Up You're Pretty and then voted off Bad Cree. The way that the future was barely brought up until it was like brought up by Heather. The way that they're like, I keep coming back to Shut Up You're Pretty and them saying it doesn't come with Kudakwashe. So like, and she's like, well, I'm trying to make it come with me. And it's like, it fucking doesn't. And like, when she's defending the book, she just sounds so fucking angry. It is aggressive. I'm fucking baffled by it. It's not a good book. It is objectively not a good book. Yeah, no one I've talked to who has read it has said that they enjoyed it in any way, shape, or form. Fucking conspiracies abound, yo. I don't know. I've gone on for 10 minutes saying I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there, and we'll see what happens with a winner tomorrow, I guess. Which I can't believe I'm saying I hope is the future. So, Canada Reads Day 4, finale. Whatever. Do I have thoughts? Actually, not a lot. Given that it's the last day and you'd expect me to have more. Yeah. My first thought, literally the first thing I texted my friend, Allie's jacket. Allison's jacket is beautiful. Loved it. But yeah. I mean, the longer they went on today, the more I found that I literally didn't give a fuck who won. I was sitting there watching it and I'm like, at this point I don't even care. Like, these were my third and fourth spot picks as illustrated in my pile. And I didn't give a fuck. So yeah, we'll go to thoughts that I have noted down. Like, Kudakwashe really seems to get stuck on one particular plot point of something, even if it's not the point that you're supposed to be talking about at that point in time. Like, she just gets really stuck on one thing and repeats that one thing, and I find it very annoying. But at the same time, I also find Heather very annoying in that, like, it feels like she thinks she's better than everyone else or something. You know, I do this for a living, so, like, I'm better, which I will come to a little bit later. Thoughts I have about that in a conversation I had before this whole thing even started, when the fucking defenders were announced. I had thoughts. I did not record them. I wrote them in my group Discord. I'll fucking get to that. Actually, fuck, let's do it right now. I was like, I don't know how I feel about an author defending a book. I was like, it feels a little kind of, I don't know, there's a cringe about it that I don't like. Because I was like, this is their job. This is technically their job. This is supposed to be like people from all over, and you're having a book person defend a book, not, you know, an actress defending a book, a athlete defending a book, you know, that kind of thing. So it felt very like, this feels weird and cringy, and like, is it going to affect things? But my friend was like, I'm more likely to read the book that they pick because I think it's more likely going to be good because they know their craft so well. And I was like, yeah, okay, but is it going to be a good story that people are going to connect with, or is it going to be like technically perfect with like flawless prose? Not saying many people said that book was dense in that debate or anything. I'm talking about the future one, you should know this. So yeah. Heather winning, I'm just kind of like, I feel like I called that? Maybe I did put it in a video. I don't know. I'd have to go back. I don't watch old videos of myself. That's weird. So yeah. Is the book good, or is it technically flawless? Because books only work with flaws. Just like people, right? Right? So yeah, I just get this vibe from Heather that like, this is my job, this is my talent, this is what I'm good at, so like, I was able to do this no problem, like, thanks guys. You know, like, oh, you handed it to me, thanks. Like, that's what it fucking feels like to me, and I'm just like... But at the same time, I really did not want Shut Up, You're Pretty to win. As I said, I had those in my 3rd and 4th places, which I should not have put there, because I looked at the last couple of years that I have read either all 5 or at least 4 of the books that were in the years, and my favorites are often in the 3rd and 4th spots. So why did I put the books that I didn't like there? Yeah. That was... Yeah, like, when they eliminated Denison Avenue, you saw I was in shock. And when they eliminated Bad Cree, I was like, great, now I don't fucking care. Literally don't care. I'm fucking annoyed with it this year, and there's the overall fucking duds of all of it. I'm not even gonna go there. I still love Dallas. I love that he's supposed to be this, like, big tough athlete, and, you know, when he hears his wife's voice and there's a photo of his wife and his kid dressed up as lions, I was like, that's so cute. But, like, he hears the, you know, message from him and he tears up. That's beautiful. He has expressed such a vulnerability during this entire thing where he's like, I do have a learning disability. Like, he has teared up when he heard his wife and when he heard his coach, and he was just like, oh, you know, like, you're supposed to like your partners. And when he tears up, like, yeah, I miss my wife. Like, that's beautiful. He is supposed to be this big tough guy, and he's just like, this vulnerability there in both being dyslexic and like being out with it and like tearing up at the people he loves. Like, that's fucking delightful. Smash that toxic masculinity, yo. All right. Yeah, so the future one with Shut Up, You're Pretty in 2nd place, followed by Bad Cree, followed by Denison Avenue, followed by Meet Me at the Lake. But I think we can all agree that the real winner of these debates was fucking audiobooks. Audiobooks won this debate. I am fucking thrilled about how much it was brought up that, like, audiobook, because audiobooks are reading, and if you think otherwise, go fuck yourself. All right. As I said, not as many thoughts today. But yeah, it's just, I didn't like as many books this year as I have in past years. And I just, It still feels weird that there was something weird going on behind the scenes this year. I don't know. But, yeah, I guess we'll see what next year holds. I can't believe I have to wait a whole nother year for this. Can we do Canada Reads twice a year? Do like a fiction one and a nonfiction one? I would love that. No one would watch the nonfiction one, let's be real. Let's be real here. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. This is my end video, right? Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. In this weird vlog structure that I've thrown in here after saying that I wasn't gonna do that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this well enough and want to have another Canadian booktuber on your fucking channel. All right. See you next time.